We're joined today by Reuben Homewood, who is a financial planner at Quilter. Morning, Reuben.
Morning, Emma. Thank you for having me on this morning.
No, thank you for joining us. So we're going to jump right in. So you're quite newly qualified, aren't you? So if you want to tell us a bit about that, and also what made you want to decide to join the profession? Because financial planning isn't necessarily the most visible career for a lot of people.
So your first point, I've been appointed now. I'm in month 4. So you've got appointed back end of March, sort of start of April. So month 4 of the sort of new career, which is very exciting. So I previously was in the military, and when I was sort of looking for that next career, it needed to be kind of timeless. I don't like the chop and change of every 2 years going to trying something new. So I wanted something timeless, which I see financial planning being. I've previously engaged with a financial planner when I was in the military, and that was a very positive experience. And then I've got friends in the profession, and it's a profession with purpose and impact, which is very appealing for me.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting. I think the military is quite a well-established route, isn't it, into financial planning? So what's your journey involved so far? So from deciding that you wanted to become a financial planner, how did you go about taking next steps?
So I started my qualifications with LIBF in April 2023. So the military have got an enhanced learning credit scheme, which LIBF are part of. So I used sort of funding to fund the qualifications. Once I got the FTRS, FRSE even under my belt, so exam 1, then moved on to submit my notice, and got the feel of this is going to be the career. I had to pause my qualifications in October 2023 due to deployments that I was involved in and really tasked, and I just couldn't keep up with sort of day to day and studying on the side. So I got back from deployment in July 24, recommenced studying. And what I found with LIBF was it's a lot of written content, which is great for some learners, but I prefer a bit more of a visual sort of content. So I subscribe to Next Gen Planners, and their sort of independent academy. Even though it's focused on CII, I actually found the blend of styles content meant that I was probably getting more than if you just went one way or the other. And that enabled me to get through. I was doing an exam every 4 weeks, completed my level 4 qualification with a pass result in December 24, and then started the Quilter Academy in February 25. Level 1 focuses very much on advisor skills and sort of soft skills, and bring it how to present the knowledge you have to a client to sort of show that value. And then level 2 is then more, this is our proposition, this is how sort of the tech stack works, this is how you build a business essentially and make it work, which 4 months in now, I'm onboarded my first clients, which one of them was completely self-generated from going out into submit business. So that's probably one of my nice accomplishments so far. I've gone from scratch.
Because I'm going to ask you, what you sort of found most rewarding, and that seems like it's about you bringing in your own clients.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I'm one of 4 boys, and so I grew up in quite a competitive household.
I can't even imagine. I've got 2, and that's bad enough.
So not only from scratch, but also having a pitch against other financial planners. Because networking is quite everyone goes networking.
Skill, isn't it? I think. Yeah, definitely. And we sort of might have covered it already, actually, because you were talking about your sort of challenges of juggling 2 different careers at the same time. But what have you found most challenging on your journey so far?
Certainly the juggling was really difficult.
Yeah.
So I was involved in quite a complex, high intensity deployment, one that the Royal Navy hadn't done in sort of 10, 15 years.
Wow.
So trying to do your core job, your secondary job, we were 8 hours on, 8 hours off, with that 8 hours off being interrupted to
Yeah.
sort of deal with events going on. So it just wasn't a conducive
Not the
environment.
most conducive studying environment, is it?
From it's quite hard to have a call for, say, a missile coming in, and then 2 hours later reading a tax document. It's
I can't even imagine. Yeah.
quite hard to shift your mindset. So I made the decision to pause the qualification, which at the time LIBF had just restructured the level 4 qualification as well,
Yeah.
which from my understanding was kind of broadly to align that with CII. So it was more, there was a better comparison for which route to go down. So it kind of naturally aligned with that, which was quite nice, because they're like, you can pause and then
Yeah, that's
recommence.
interesting to know, and I think that might be good for people to know that are thinking about, maybe studying and worrying about being able to, like you say, do that juggling. So that wasn't a problem to be able to pause things for a while.
No, it wasn't. LIBF were fantastic with that.
Brilliant. And so, what advice would you give to others that were maybe thinking about financial planning as a career?
It's exciting.
Yeah,
I think don't get sort of focused on the big wage, basically. Because you've got to, it's not going to come overnight, and you've
yeah,
got to focus on that sort of, everything's a 3 to 5 year sort of project of, let's get sustainable first,
yeah,
which from doing my own research before starting the sort of profession, was it's going to be a 3 year. So 3 years to get sustainable, 5 years to kind of be in profit, and then 10 years, plus to build that sort of successful business that's then the kind of going to deliver the lifestyle that ultimately I've changed career for.
yeah. But like you say, it's a sort of, you made a lifetime career change, something that you see, that you can do for the rest of your career, essentially.
Yeah, and it's one of my selling points when I talk to clients, because there is that sort of stigma of financial planning is sort of men in their 50s, where
Absolutely.
actually, that's great, but they're going to retire in the next 10 years. I'm
Yeah,
going to be here for the next 30 to 40 years. So
yeah,
I might not have the same experience. However, I'm full of energy, and
yeah.
I'm going to be like this.
And you
I'll
can
be.
study when you've had like a missile warning or something. So, I mean, how many advisors can say that?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the, I guess, things that I didn't realize, that actually you'd be like, what on earth does that have to do with financial planning? And the reality is that I'm cool and calm under pressure,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
my first kind of 4 months have been market volatility, um, and clients not necessarily happy, or potential clients not necessarily happy with their portfolios. And
Yeah,
one, it's presented a good opportunity to, right, let's, I know you might have a financial advisor, but let's explore that. Let's make sure that costs, charges, performance, everything's aligned to your sort of preferences, and also let's look at your objective,
yeah,
and then trying to use the I used to work in the divisional system in the Navy, so I'd sit there and help people build smart objectives, and now I'm just doing that for clients.
yeah,
And
yeah.
let's
Interesting.
build an objective, let's build a plan around it, and then if there is a bit of volatility on the sort of horizon, let's look at the long term picture, because that's what
That's
we're
it.
going for. It's
Definitely.
not.
It's being able to help people keep calm, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a big part of the role of a financial planner.
yeah, and perspectives huge in
Yeah,
that, and I think my sort of unique experience, I guess, lends me to having a bit of of perspective of, at the end of the day, yes, markets are up and down. We might have lost a little bit of money today, but we're going to make it back tomorrow. And ultimately, we've all woken up today. Let's just take a breath.
Yeah. Bit perspective.
Yeah, come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And that seems to be working, to be honest.
Fantastic. And so what are your plans for the future? I think we sort of covered it a little bit. You've thought quite a lot about the sort of long-term picture.
Yeah, so at the moment, my sort of immediate sort of objective is just to get the business sustainable. I'm working with my business engagement manager to be signed off to present local sort of seminars in the southern region, and then also webinars UK wide. So that's sort of my immediate. And then I had my first daughter the week I got appointed.
Oh, wow.
Whirlwind week, which then once she goes to nursery, I'm going to start my level 6 qualifications with LIBF, again using the enhanced learning credits that I've got through the military. So I've got 5 years to use those. So start using those, building level 6 qualifications towards that sort of chartered status at the 5-year point.
Right. So that's your aim, is to become chartered.
Yeah, it is. We're in. I read someone's LinkedIn post, and they were like, "We're in a technical profession. Like, we should be aiming to be at the top of that, and that sort of chartered status and having the level 6 advanced diploma. That is the top of our profession. So that is exactly where I want to be."
Fantastic.